Hello everyone, welcome back to our Material Design 3 series with Jetpack Compose. Today we are focusing on an integral component, the text field. Text fields in material design are input fields that user can type into. Text fields are typically used to collect user inputs in forms. They can be used to gather various type of information such as user's name, email address, password, etc. Let's go ahead and jump into our Android Studio and see how we can create a text field. So here first let's create a new file for text field. First let's take a column layout. In that column layout we will place our text fields. So we have these two types of text field. First one is this outline text field. Another one is this simple text field. So first let's use this outline text field. So here first let's put these on separate line. So here we can see we have these two compulsory parameters. So first one is this value. So this value parameter will hold the text state of this text field. So for that first let's create a state here. So here this is giving error, so let's import two more values. First one is this get value and this set value. First let's minimize these imports and this email state let's use it here. And this on value change will give us the new text input which will come through the keyboard. So here what we will do, we will update our email state with the new user input. So this is giving error, so let's opt in this experimental material annotation, and this is saying we need to change this to where. So let's change it, and also let's use a modifier here. So now let's use our composable function in the main activity, and let's run our app and see how this one is looking. So here this is our text field. So let's click on this and we can see we can write in this text field. And now let's minimize this and let's see what more we can do with this text field. There is a parameter called label. So let's use this. Now let's run our app again and see. So here we can see this is showing this label. So when we click on this text field, so this label will go up to that top left. And also there are other parameters. First one is this placeholder. So this placeholder we can use to give some hint for this text field. So here again let's use this text composable function for this placeholder and let's change it to enter your email. And we also have another parameter like leading icon. So with the help of this leading icon we can use an icon in the starting of this text field. So here let's use an icon. Now let's run our app and see how this one is looking. So here we can see there is a leading icon and also this one is the label. So when we click on this text field, so this label will go to that top left and this placeholder will come into effect. So here when we start the typing, so that placeholder will also go away. And here we also have a parameter called trailing icon. So we can use a trailing icon. So this time we will use an if condition. So let's use if email is not empty, then we will provide an icon. Otherwise we will provide the null value. So here let's provide an icon. Let's wrap this icon into an icon button because that trailing icon will be clickable. Let's change this icon to close, and also this on click, let's change it to. So when we click on this close icon, so whatever will be the value of that email, so we will update it to blank value. So now let's run our app again and see this. So let's click on this. So here we can see there is no trailing icon because right now that email is empty. That's why I have provided this null value. Now if I try to something, then this close icon will appear. So what this close icon will do, let's click on this. So it will make that email to blank. So this is how we can use a trailing icon also in a text field. And let's see what more we can do. We have this supporting text also. So this text will be placed under this text field. So let's here use a text composable. We can use supporting text something like this. And we also have this parameter is error. So here let's use a condition something like dot, then it will give the error. So let's run our app again. So here we can see this is our supporting text. So let's click on this text field and let's try to type something. And if I click on this dot, then this text field will go into that error state. So let's delete that dot, and here again it has come to the normal state. So this is how we can use this is error parameter. Right now we can see this is a regular keyboard, but since we have this email text field, we can change this regular keyboard to a email keyboard. So for that, let's use this keyboard option parameter, and here we will say keyboard option. So here we can do many things. Let's press Ctrl P and let's also minimize this. So here we can see there is a capitalization. If we want our whole keyboard as capital letters, so we can provide this value, and also this keyboard type. So let's change this keyboard type to something like email. Keyboard type to email, and we also have another types of keyboard also, like this number password, and for now let's use this email keyboard. And also we have other things, that is this IME action. So what this IME action is this? First let's open this device. So here we can see there is a button in the bottom right, this one. So let's click on this. So this is the enter button. So what we can do, we can change this button also. This is called IME action. So let's change this to done. IME action dot done. So there are other IME action also like this. Go search done. So whatever is your use case, you can choose any of these. So for now, let's use this done. And here we can provide the functionality of this IME action also. So here let's use this keyboard action. So in this keyboard actions, we have many parameters, like we can provide whatever IME action we have. So right now we have on done, so we can provide this on done functionality. So what we need when we click on this on done IME action, we need to close this keyboard. So for that, here let's create a new variable for keyboard controller. So this is giving error. So let's obtain this experimental annotation, and with the help of this value we can hide the keyboard. Here let's use this keyboard controller and dot hide, and we need to put these in parentheses. like this. And also we can see this text field is multi-line text field. But what we need, since this email will be mostly in a one line, so we can use a parameter called single line. So here we can see it to true because this text field needs to be single line. The default value of this parameter is false, so every text field by default is multi-line. So let's run our app again and see these changes. So here let's click on this. So now we can see we have this email keyboard. We can see there is a @ button also in the keyboard. So let's type some value like this. So now when we click on this done button, so it should hide this keyboard. So this is working perfectly fine. So now next thing we will look into the another type. Let's use a spacer here. So again we need to provide these two values. So let's go here and create one more state. So let's use this state here and let's go above and copy this code and paste it here. And after this let's use this label and paste it here. Let's change it to password. And also let's change that keyboard type to password keyboard. So let's run our app again and see this text field. So here we can see this is the one another type of text field. So here let's type some value. So we can see this is working perfectly fine. But what we need to do, since this is a password text field, so what we will do, we will use this text as a password. So for that let's minimize this and here let's create one more state. So initially we will keep this true. So here what we will do, there is a parameter called visual transformation. We will use this and here we will say, so if this is password hidden state is true, then we will use this password visual transformation, as we will use this none. And also let's use a trailing icon for that eye. Here we need to use that eye icon. So for that let's minimize this. So let's import few icons from the Android Studio. So here in this drawable package, let's right click and go to this vector asset and click on this. So we will use this icon. So let's rename it to icon visibility. Let's press next and finish. So here this is our visibility icon. So let's import one more icon. Now we will use these two icons with the if else condition. So like this we will use these icons. So let's use this visibility icon here and this on click. When we click on this icon button, so we will inverse our is password hidden state. So now we can run our app again and see this change. So here let's try to type some value. So now we can see our text is coming in a password format. So when we click on this icon, so now we can see our text. So let's delete this text and type password. So let's again click on this icon. So it will change that to password visual. So again let's click on this. So this is how text fields work. So let's minimize this and we can click on this Control B. So here this is the documentation of this text field. So you can read this documentation and see how this text field has been implemented. So let's close this. And that's wrap up our look at text fields in Material Design 3 using Jetpack Compose. They are a crucial part of any application that requires user input. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. See you in the next one.